Okay, so I'll start with the simplest one, which is the shaker, which you can hear here. And as you increase the rate, it increases the speed at which the auto pan will pan left and right. So I like to keep the amount at about 25%, and then the rate a bit slower at about 1 Hz. This allows the sound to freely flow between the left and the right channels, so it doesn't interfere with the track, but doesn't blend in fully, so it sounds more humanized and more realistic. So now we have the first guitar lead that you hear come in. And what I've done is I've tried to recreate the Leslie cabinet sound. So to do that, I've changed it from phase mode here to spin, and I've turned the spin all the way up to 50%. Then you can adjust the rate to your liking, and then the amount you don't want quite too high, because otherwise it's really up and down. So you just want to find that little sweet spot there. I'll show you. And obviously this would vary depending on the tempo of your track, how you want it to sound, and how well you want it to glue with the other elements. So now we'll have a look at this distorted lead sound. And I've just done the same thing there as well. So that's matching the other one perfectly. So they both pan left and right at the same time, flowing together. Alternatively, you could just have an auto pan, which pulses like this, by turning the phase all the way down and setting the rate and the amount. But that's ultimately up to you to decide what your track needs, as well as your personal preference. So you can also use auto pan as a form of sidechain, or as a pulsing pumping motion. Now you can also try combining auto pans and stacking them on top of each other, just like here. Or you can play around with a few different ones, just turning them off and on and seeing what works. And finally, you can try automating the parameters, seeing if you get interesting sounds. Thanks for taking the time to watch this far. If you're interested in playing around with this project file, it is available for download without the drums from my website, which is linked below. You can also find lots of other great project files for download there, like a synthwave project or my remake of Zoo's most recent track. Thanks again for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to stay up to date with all of the new weekly content.